Hi, Jason Sulliman here. I wanted to share with you a tip that I picked up a couple of years ago. When I was doing my coursework for graduate school, I found that I was sitting quite a bit with all the various things that I had to do. I was sitting in class, took a lot of classes. I was sitting when I was writing papers, checking emails, and doing all sorts of correspondence and research on the computer. I was sitting when I was in my car driving to various gigs and teaching obligations. I was sitting when I was playing in orchestra rehearsals and orchestra performances. And so I found that there was just a lack of balance physically in how my body was living every day. And it started to take its toll. By the point where you start getting into those later graduate degrees and you've done a lot of sitting and a lot of practicing and a lot of playing, your body can start giving you subtle hints that things are kind of starting to kind of break down a little bit. And I definitely got those signals from my body. I would wake up a little stiffer. I wasn't as rested. I didn't have as much energy during the day. My back would be sore. It would take longer to kind of loosen up. And these kinds of things started happening more and more to me. So one of the things I did to try to provide a little bit more balance in my life was I bought a used treadmill off of Craigslist, and then I had a piece of wood made to fit right over the top of it, and I turned it into a treadmill desk. Now, you can get a fancy workstation that does this very thing for several $1,000s. I did this for about $250 total, and so I'm going to show you kind of how I put it together. But basically what I would do is whenever I had computer work, whether it was emails or writing a paper or researching, that kind of stuff, I would just get on the treadmill desk. I would set it at 1.5 miles an hour, which isn't too bad of a pace. I can still sit here, or stand here I should say, and do the things that I need to do. And I did that for about 4 hours a day. So 4 hours at 1.5 miles an hour meant that I was able to add 6 miles of walking into my daily routine without adding any additional time, for additional exercising. It was just kind of built into the schedule. But furthermore, one of the benefits was that also meant 4 less hours per day of sitting. So the balance between when I was sitting and when I was moving was much more healthy. And I noticed a ton of differences in the way that I was just more productive mentally, more productive physically. I felt better. It really was just great all around. So I just wanted to share this with you, and I'm going to show you how I put it together. So this is the treadmill. Really basic unit. It's Gold's Gym, as you can see there on the side. Just one of their basic models, and I was able to find it on Craigslist pretty cheap. And one of the things that I did was this panel right here. This panel used to sit up top, and you can see that there are those braces, these brackets. So the panel used to be up here where you would expect it, kind of where the computer is. And so all I did was I took a hacksaw, and actually I did a pretty hack job too. You can see right here, I cut all along this, and it was kind of crude. But then I just disconnected the wire and then reconnected it when I put it down into the handles down in here. So it functions like a regular treadmill. But then I had this piece of wood made, and all it does is it sits right over these braces, or these brackets, and just an extra piece of scrap wood underneath to kind of balance it out. So it's not actually fastened in any way. It doesn't really need to be with the way that it's kind of made. So I could turn this back into a treadmill pretty easily. But by doing this, I was able to significantly change the balance in my life, and it's been something that I am a big fan of, and I consider you, I would highly recommend that if you are in a position where you're doing a lot of sitting, you're doing a lot of computer work, doing a lot of reading, doing a lot of driving, if you travel a lot for different gigs, then I highly recommend you consider finding ways to get more movement in your life. Thanks.